Welcome back everybody, Matt the Man here. Hope you're doing well. So, Sunday night was the season finale of The Penguin. This is obviously based on the character that we saw in The Batman back in 2022 with Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne slash Batman. In that movie, Colin Farrell played Oswald Cobblepot, or just Oz. Um, and once again, he was unrecognizable in the Batman. I thought he did a great job for the limited screen time he got in that film. And so when they announced that they're going to do a spin-off TV series on HBO, or just Max, Max. I was looking forward to it. Obviously, I'm a Batman fan, so anything in the Batman universe, give it to me. Because we gotta wait now even longer for the Batman Part 2. It was gonna come out in 2025, but because of the actor strike and the writer strike, it's now not coming out until 2026. Penguin show. And I'm now in that mode or routine of instead of watching an episode each week, I'm so used to watching something thrown on Netflix or whatever, and you binge the entire season all at once. So with The Penguin, I watched the first episode, and then I waited and waited and waited until they got to episode 7. Like right before episode 7 aired, I went back and binged 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 between on a Saturday afternoon and a Sunday morning before episode 7. And as I was watching it, I started liking it more and more and more. Let's get into my actual review of season 1, maybe just season 1, maybe just a limited series of The Penguin. I'll be starting out the positives. Colin Farrell as Oswald Cobblepot. Amazing. This show was able to go further into the character, something that the movie wasn't able to do at the time. We learn a lot more backstory with the character. We see his relationship with other mobsters. We see his relationship with his mother. I don't know what it is with Batman villains and their mothers. We had Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. He had a problem with his mother, or parents in general. We had, Heath Ledger's Joker. My father was a drinker and a fiend. And one night, he gets the kitchen knife. Mommy doesn't like that. Not one bit. But Colin Farrell and his relationship with his mother, or Oz, is very weird at times. It's very touching at times. It's very heartwarming. It's very twisted at times. It's a whole lot of things. When it gets into that character, that depth of the character of Oz, his relationship with this kid or teenager named Vic is very interesting. First he's going to kill him, but then he uses him as like his little side person. His driver, his errand boy. And it's an interesting, and also by the end of the series, season, which I won't spoil, it's really fucked up. But that's also the mind of a mobster. It's like that then you got the mobster side, a gangster, a mobster in Gotham, and you definitely see where the influence of the show came from, like The Sopranos, or like a Goodfellas, or something like that. And I like mob movies or mob shows, so this was the MVP of this show is Christina Milioti as Sophia Falcone, or Falcone, if you're in the Nolan universe. Sophia Falcone, the daughter of Carmine Falcone, who in the Batman was played by John Turturro, but he was able to return from the show, so they brought in Mark Strong for an episode. Christina Milioti is the greatest. If you thought no one's going to be able to upstage Colin Farrell's Oz, well, Christina Milioti, she's up there. She's above. Episode 4, I'm just going to say episode 4 is going to get this actress an Emmy nomination, and maybe even a win. Her range in that episode, from a, princess girl, daddy's king, I get everything I want, and then going to prison, and start seeing the downfall of her character, and then her getting out of prison and dealing with the people that put her in prison, and it's like, and her rise in the family to basically being the queen, the big one, the mob boss of the Falcone family. Like, oh my god. And then watching Michael Corleone, but a lot darker. And it's just like, wow. The early stages of her relationship with Oz as her driver. Christina Milioti is the show. And I'm not going to go into any spoilers here, but I was so worried that at the end they were going to axe her off. And I thought, no, don't do that. Please don't do that. Yes, I would love to see a scene with her, with the Batman. Robert Pattinson's Batman. Or even multiple scenes. I would love to see their dynamic. So Christina Milioti is, and like I said, I didn't know much about this actress other than The Wolf of Wall Street, where she played Leonardo DiCaprio, Jordan Belfort's first wife, before Margot Robbie came along. Even though we do have that great scene in the movie where Leonardo DiCaprio is in the limo with Margot Robbie, the limo pulls up to their house or the hotel. She opens the door, pulls him out, Leonardo, and starts beating the shit out of him right there on the street. Yep, that's going to be Sophia Falcone one day. Vic, like the teenager, he's an interesting character. He starts going down a dark path throughout the show, and it is just a very interesting portrayal. We get to see how the aftermath of the Batman with the flood that the Riddler created affects him and his family. And I thought that was a great avenue inside this character and how he fits into all of this. So many Marvel shows. You have to watch, if you haven't watched the movie, you're not going to get the show. If you haven't watched the show, you're not going to get the next film. This does not have any of that. Like I said, other than the flood, that was in the Batman, with a new show at the very opening of the season. You don't need to go watch the Batman to figure out what's going on in this Penguin show, even though it does take place after the Batman. I would even say, even after watching the show, you're probably not going to need to know too much information from the show to see the Batman Part 2. Some of my negatives, though. Like I said, I watched the first episode and I waited a couple weeks to finally start finishing it. A part of that was, wanting to wait and binge the whole thing. The other part is I did not think the first episode was that great. It didn't feel like we were in the same universe as Matt Reeves' The Batman. Also, I felt like it felt more TV feel than it did movie quality, like The Batman. even though it's in the same universe. And that happens a lot. I've seen a lot of pilot episodes where the pilot episode is great, and I've seen other episodes where, other shows where the pilot episode, not so great. Like, for instance, Friday Night Lights, great. Pilot episode of Smallville, not so great. This movie is in Gotham City. This movie takes place after the Batman. There was never any mention of the Batman in this show. Not even a mention. Not even Bruce Wayne, not even Batman himself, not from Oz, not from other monsters, not from Sophia Falcone, who at one point you would think would maybe mention Batman. No mention of Batman. No mention of Bruce Wayne. Even like Catwoman, Selena Kyle. Because obviously she worked with Oz at the lounge. And we know that Sophia Falcone has a sister, Selena Kyle. And there's no mention of Selena Kyle or Batman or... And I thought... And there's a certain part in episode 7 that you go, oh yeah, the Batman would be there right now. And no Batman. And where is the Batman? He's at home, ironing his tights. I did like how they ended the show. We do see, minor spoiler, we do see the Batman signal at the very final shot of the season. It was kind of funny because right before that we get Oz saying, no one can touch me now. And then they pan out of the building and a wide shot of the building and the sky. And you just look at the sky and boom, the bat signal. And you're like, he can touch you. The Batman is coming. So that was a nice little like, the Batman Part 2. We still gotta wait less than almost 2 years away. Damn it. Let me know in the comments below, did you see the Penguin? Are you a fan of the show? Are you a fan of Colin Farrell as Oswald Cobblepot? Let me know in the comments below. Matt here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment.